Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to The Good Life with me, Eileen. We are here on Relationship Tuesday, and we're here to open your mind. We are living the good life right here on WBOK 1230 AM. We are opening minds to living differently in the world with love, compassion, tolerance, and understanding for ourselves and hopefully everyone else. We do that right here weekdays at 11 a.m. Make sure you tune in. You can always catch us live here, Instagram, Facebook. We're always live, but you never have to miss a show. Why? You can go on tglradioshow.com and find everything that you want. We have our podcast there. We have our live videos there. We have our gear there. Yes, I said gear. Why? Because you can get your Good Life Radio t-shirts. You can get your Good Life Radio Show aprons. You know, it's Christmas time. It's birthdays, whatever it is. It's that time you need a gift. Make it the good life. I think, join the movement. If you are, you want a t-shirt and then you're like, you know what? I want my commercials on there too. There is a way to do that as well. It's one-stop shopping right on tglradioshow.com. So do it right now. You don't have to miss it. Why? Because there's more people in the world with a smartphone than a toothbrush. We actually just had that conversation off air. But it is true. But we're going to jump back into our core because we have Dr. Tammy Wilborn of Wilborn Clinical Services in the studio with us. You can find her at wilbornclinicalservices.com. WilbornClinicalServices.com. Make sure you go there. I can't see her because she's my friend. That's what she told me. But, I like to get all the good information out of here. So you all are very lucky to have her in the studio each and every Tuesday. And if you enjoy the show, please share. It is the most underutilized button. Please share. So we have been talking about unlocking our core. We've been talking about it. We're going to talk about it all week in different aspects. So I'm really glad to have you here because we talked about it, our core in the relationships, the actual relationship. But I want to get to us. I really want to get to unlocking who we are in our core. And I'm going to give you a real life situation. I had been married. At that point, it had been 3 years when we were divorcing. After Katrina, I had obviously my husband, I had my son, and he had a second son as well. So it was like a family of four. When I got divorced, I was like, what makes me happy? Somebody asked me that, and I was like, that is a great question. I have absolutely no idea. And it was more like, what do you like to do? And I was like, what do I like to do? Aiden at that point was like 2, so I had a baby, and I'm like, and his son was, kind of in the mid years, and so. 10. And so I'm like 2 and 10. And then I'm like, I don't know. And then working and by the time I took care of them and fed them and everything, washed clothes or whatever, I'm like, I'm tired. I don't even know what I enjoy doing. I had literally lost the core of who I was. And I had to take time and be like, just like you said with that I am. Who am I? What do I enjoy doing? I'm sad to say it was that bad. I didn't even know what I enjoyed doing. I had to get back to the basics. I was like, you know what? I like to read. For all of y'all who watch me, y'all know I like to read. But I was like, I like to read. And so I got back into that. And Aiden and my favorite place was in the bookstore all the time. But, we really lose the core of who we are in our relationships so often. And so if y'all are listening, I really, want to encourage you to not let that happen. And I'm going to let Dr. Wilborn take over from here and tell us why we shouldn't let it happen, what we need to do with it if it happens, and how we can take care of ourselves and get back to that authentic place.
Yeah.
Please tell me. Tell me.
It definitely happens. Because things happen, we grow, situations happen, relationships come and go. And so a lot of times we do find ourselves in what I like to call this existential crisis of asking that question, who am I? What am I? What do I like? What are those things that I enjoy?
Clueless.
But what's interesting about crisis is that the word crisis itself means both danger and opportunity.
I did not know that.
Yes, that at the root of crisis, it's danger and opportunity. And so when we think about our lives as various experiences of existential crises, what that means is that we are confronted with these dangerous moments, and sometimes there's maybe actual danger or perceived danger, but these moments where we're kind of at a crossroad. And we have to decide, am I going to allow this experience to continue to cause me to lose myself, or am I going to seize this as an opportunity for me to define who I am, or maybe reclaim who I am if I've lost that?
Yeah.
And so I was thinking about this as I was mentally sort of preparing, or at least thinking about the show today. I remember a defining moment for me shifting to being able to answer the question of who I am. Was this moment that I call that mirror moment.
Wow. Oh, I like that mirror moment.
It was I can recall this moment. My child was probably 8 or so at that time, and I was a single mother, and I remember I was getting ready to go somewhere. And how many of us get ready and we look in the mirror, but we don't really look at ourselves? Well, the mirror moment was, I had this moment where I could actually see myself, my face, behind my face.
Really?
Where I could see, because the person that was looking back at me in the mirror was not the person that was behind the face.
Wow.
The person that was looking back at me in the mirror was this person that was, I would say, fake, putting on a lot of masks to try to show up in the world as, happy and determined and all this other stuff. But the person behind that face was a scared little girl, somebody who had lived her life in a lot of fear and a lot of disappointment, and who was, quite frankly, not happy. I was not happy. And that moment caused a breakdown in the mirror. I had that mirror moment where I had a breakdown, and it led to tears, and it led to this question of, if you don't like the person that you're looking back at, what are you going to do to change that? What are you going to do to become the person that the person behind the mirror, the face in this mirror, reflects the reflection in the mirror?
And I'm glad you said that. I'm going to just interject really quickly, because there are listeners out there who, guys like, why do women put on that makeup? Sometimes we put on the makeup to make ourselves feel better. I don't feel well physically. My self-confidence is low today. I had a terrible week. I have to go deal with my boss. My children aren't listening, and I am just going to put on a touch of makeup to make me feel better. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to fake it till I make it. And the guys do the same thing. I'm going to put on this suit. Or y'all go to the barber. Y'all go to the barber, y'all get a fresh fade. I may not feel good, but I'm going to get a fresh fade, and I'm going to, will it. Or I'm going to put on this watch that I love. I'm going to put on, whatever it is for you. I'm going to put on a handkerchief this morning. Whatever. Give yourself a little oomph to make you feel better. And we do these things as, and we're like putting icing on the cake. But, it's just like when you said you make that cake and has all this nasty stuff in it, but you put icing on it and it looks all sweet and pretty on the outside, but you cut it on the inside and you're like, what is this? And you're talking about that mirror moment. And I'm like, we've all had that.
Yes.
We've all had that.
And
or need to have it.
Yeah.
We need to have it, I should say.
Many of us don't have it. We need to have that moment where we really, really dig in and start to peel back. Why do I do that? For guys, you mentioned all the different ways that they show up in terms of masking. So they do that with clothes, and they do it with women, and they do it with cars, and they do it with jobs, and they do it with competition, and sometimes they do it with addictions. And women, we do it in all the ways that you described. And so I think it's important for us to really take the time. And for some people, it's hard to do it on your own. So going to see a counselor sometimes is helpful to.
And I opened up and told the listeners that, Tammy said I couldn't see her. I told her I was sad about it, but nonetheless, she referred me to someone, and I'm absolutely blessed. I'm so excited about the process, and it has really, opened my mind to living differently in the world. But each and every one of you have the opportunity to speak to her. She's absolutely amazing, and I encourage each and every one of you that if you're ready to step out, into counseling, which I believe all of us need. I don't even think it's a question. I think it's a need. Definitely look into Wilborn Clinical Services. Go ahead, Tammy. I'm sorry.
I don't know. Well, because I think where you are is a perfect place to be, because as a community, I think particularly in the Black community, there is a shame and a stigma around seeking help and needing help and having somebody tell you that something is wrong with you. I was looking at an article today or last night that I shared in the Black Women's Wellness Conference community page on Facebook from the Nigerian author Chimamanda Adichie, who spoke about suffering with depression and the challenge of, going to see a professional and somebody labeling she called it this strangeness or this strange, feeling that she had as depression and the challenge and the struggle of having something that is so stigmatized. But if we don't have no problem going to see doctors. If we have we have diabetes, we go see a doctor. If we have, something broken, we go see a doctor. If something is broken with you psychologically, emotionally, or emotionally, go talk to somebody.
And you know what else? I feel like we do our children a disservice.
We do.
If our children's arm is broken, we're going to take them to the doctor. If their heart is broken, we tell them to get over it. They have less, coping capabilities than we do. Not saying that we have much more than they do, but, they're still children. And so I think we just do our children such a disservice because it's something that the family can really should, in my opinion, wrap their arms around with, and so everyone can walk into the good life. And so I wanted to bring this up. We have a couple minutes left, but they have this hashtag that is blowing up on social media. It is Me Too. Obviously, this is the month of October, which is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and it came into because of, I'm not even telling his name and all that, because of the guy in Hollywood who has just been, yes, he just, and so the hashtag Me Too, and so women are speaking up and saying Me Too. Think about all of these women, and not just women, men as well, who have had some type of sexual abuse, sexual advance, or something that has, has stuck with them and has really hurt them. And if y'all listen to the show, y'all know a couple months ago, I shared my story. So I have to say Me Too. And it took me 20 years to say something. Mm-hmm. And so I had been in counseling for the divorce and everything else, to make sure I was a better parent. But I always took care of everyone else. I wasn't taking care of myself. So, even with, coming out and having the conversation a couple months ago, I still didn't even seek counseling till now. And I'm like, you know what? I really want to get to the root of these things because moving into the next relationship, I don't want to deal with this. Not that I don't want to deal with it anymore, but I don't want this baggage or layers to come back to haunt me. I want to be a better person. I want to be my authentic self. I want to unlock my core and let the love shine through. And I'm ready to do it. And so we offer that to each and every one of you today. Dr. Wilborn?
Yeah, and Me Too.
Me Too. Mm-hmm.
And Me Too. When things like that happen to us, they create wounds. Mm-hmm. And we know, just like any other kind of wound, physical wounds, psychological and emotional wounds, when they are not treated, they do not heal. They fester. And so if you are carrying a wound that's keeping you from loving yourself freely, that's keeping yourself from being able to accept yourself as you are, that's keeping yourself from being able to say you are enough, it is okay to get help so that you can heal yourself and be free.
Be free.
Open your mind. That's what it's about.
And so there are listeners right out there right now who need your services. They are saying Me Too in their cars and at their jobs, listening, on their phone. They're walking in the park, listening to the podcast. They're like, Me Too, and they need your services. How can they reach you?
504-509-3995, 504-509-3995, or info@wilbornclinicalservices.com.
Make sure you reach out. She is absolutely amazing. We only offer the good life right here, and Dr. Tammy Wilborn is that. Y'all, it is Relationship Tuesday. We're at the close out the show, but don't forget, Unlocking Your Core is every day this week. We're going to do it a little bit tomorrow. We're actually going to have the World Trade Center here. They have an event coming up that is going to unlock your ability to reach the world. Y'all thought I was playing right here on The Good Life. We are not playing. We're going to help you reach the world. We're going to unlock those opportunities at the core for each and every one of you. So open your mind to living differently in the world. It's Eileen and it's Tammy, and we are out. I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in. It says paused. I don't know if it went through. Well, hopefully y'all got to see it. Thank you, Instagram, so much. And we're out. I don't know how long it was because it said pause. So I don't know how much Instagram got to see. So I guess I'll be saving it on my Facebook today. Ooh, look. I like the hair. Going backwards? Right. Yeah, just the hop. Yeah, yeah, literally, my hair was like, you want me to get back to my core? My core is free. That's freedom. So thanks so much for tuning in. We appreciate each and every one of you. Good morning. Enjoy your short. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. We appreciate you, Lillian. And please share the show. That's what it's all about. It's about, just opening your mind and living differently in the world, and exercising that for everyone else. So thanks so much for tuning in. Go to the TGLradioshow.com. I got to get my own website right. And share it with someone else. Thanks so much for tuning in, y'all. We're out.